and this is where we're gonna go into the machines. You guys know it, I'm sure, the basics. It just consists of grinding, sifting, filling, and then doing your final touches, folding it, twisting it. All starts with the grind. If you mess up the grind, you mess up everything else in the production line. Sifting, not everyone does it, but it's definitely highly recommended to get the best results. Filling, I mean, you got tons of different options for machines, and we'll go through some of them. I'll show you guys this grinder. So this one's a continuous feed, so it's not batch level, you just feed it. So the key with this machine is you should only feed it as fast as you can see you can still see the blades. That's the only thing that you have to be thinking about. You can do about half a pound in a minute. It's just really basically as fast as you can feed it. So there's the bud. So it makes like a really nice consistency. And this is the #1 machine that we've sold. We've been selling this the longest. Like, some people have had the machine for 5 years, no issues. The designer was very clever. This is actually a meat grinding motor, right? And then he just switched the attachment that goes onto it. So the reason that that's so great is because this motor is specifically designed to avoid adding too much heat, right? Because you're grinding meat, you don't want to cook it. So it has what they call a high torque, low RPM motor. So it has a lot of strength, but it doesn't spin very fast. And then that helps lower the heat, preserve the terpenes, and everything like that. So this is the grinder. There's one actually screen. So it comes with small, medium, large, but there is actually one additional extra small screen that some people like to use. But generally we've seen it's more for automated machines, because on the King Kone, on the fast fill, on the Hummingbird, you can fill bud that has a slightly bigger particle size, which in my opinion smokes better. But with the really automated machines, they want you to make it between 1 and 2 millimeters in diameter. Like, you're getting close to dust, in my opinion, when you're doing that, whereas this is more like what we would roll at home. That's I think what we want to. Okay, this is the smallest sifter. The sifter, very simple machine, it just vibrates, and then you have these different screens, right? Everything is measured in mesh size. The mesh size means how many inches or how many holes there are per square inch. So actually, as the number becomes bigger, the holes become smaller. So the sifter, normally I run it just as a one screen on top and just run the material through. So yeah, usually what I'll do is I'll agitate it at the top with my hands, because what happens is generally the smaller stuff goes up towards the top. So you just have to move it around and make sure it's getting to the bottom, and you're clearing some space for it. I might have put in a slightly too small of a screen for this material. So this is a 14 mesh, and I could go down to a 12, which will get me more through. The larger the number, the smaller the holes, because yeah, it's the number of holes per square inch. It takes a little bit of time, but we can look at the results so far. Well, this is the sifter. A lot of people will just, and as I said, you don't have to have the machine. The machine is not a requirement. You can buy the screen, shake it with your hands, move it around with your hands. So that's totally fine. So this one has 169 holes. So you're filling 169 pre-rolls at once. So you could just fill these. So this is a 0.35 gram metering tray. So then we'll just do this. You'll want a bigger tray, obviously. If this was bigger and wider, then I could just put the whole thing in and it'd be much faster. So basically we want to fill these and make sure that they're as even as possible. Then I will put this on top of here, and then I'm going to slide this out. It should all fall through, and then you just... Okay, and then I brought this because just in case, or if you're in the situation where that didn't fall through and it's all stuck, let's say you had infused material where you mixed oil into this, it might not fall through because it just gets stuck here. So then that is why we have a clearing tool, and then you just put it on top to forcefully push it through. So we'll leave this running, and then you guys can see here, it's essentially just bouncing the cones up and down. And then this is a catch tray, so like anything that spills over falls into here. And then I can just put that back in there. So this is the tamper tool. There's a short one, and then this is the short version. And then there's like a long version. The thought behind it was if you want to pack near the crutch, like we would have just done the first metering tray run, then we would have used the long tamper so that it's like nicely packed, and then we would have done another metering and then use this one again. But actually, yeah, you could put this on. It's a little bit tricky. You do have to like line it up so that each one goes into the holes. So then they're all gonna be sticking up and they're like going inside of the cones a little bit, you can see. When you're done with the pre-rolls, you just lift it up like this, and then they're all gonna be like hanging. Okay, and then we're gonna put it down gently. There we go, a bunch of pre-rolls. Yeah, so essentially from here, you'd have to just pack it down a little bit at the top.